So what me and Matt have been doing is push pull legs, push pull legs off, push pull arms off, yeah, and repeat. Obviously, one of them pushes a chest focus, and the other one's a fucking shoulder focus, and the other one's a upper back focus, and the other one's a lat focus, right? You lot know what I'm on about. But mate, I'm at the point now where me and Matt were like, bro, we're training all the fucking time, feel fucking hammered, yeah. And me and Matt, we do actually train like genuinely really fucking hard, and because I'm trying to keep up with him, I'm absolutely fucking annihilating myself, yeah. And I'm going home, and then we have 1 day's rest, and then literally it's back day again. And I've just felt fucked, bro. Like, I don't mind doing it sometimes when I haven't got I prefer a set day. So I say, right, every Wednesday, I'm gonna see my deep tissue lady at 12 o'clock. After that, I'm gonna go at 2 o'clock, get my hair cut, and then after that, I'm gonna go get some chicken and go home. That's that prep day done. The other way, bro, I'm trying to book in with the lady on the day off, and then I'm like, oh well, I can't get legs on that day because I've got legs tomorrow, and I can't do arms that day because I've got arms tonight. I'm like, what the fuck do I do? So me and Matt, let's go back to we're gonna do Monday, Tuesday push pull, off, push pull legs.
Yeah. See, when I would do that, I would still pick, say, 5 days to train, and I would go push, pull, legs, off, push, pull, off. So even though the sessions were on different days, I was still only in the gym on certain days. Because I absolutely, for the same as you was, year round, I hate training on different days every week. I mean, it would be impossible now. I've got Aralina anyway. But even well before that, for the last decade, when I've tried doing 2 on, 1 off, 3 on, it just skews my whole life. Because I'm like what you say, I go to the barbers on certain days, I book massaging on that day. I use certain days to get everything done. And I know I can do this and that. And when you're rotating like that, it's a fucking nightmare.
It's just a routine. It's just a routine thing, because we've all got a set. That day I do that. That day I do that.
Yeah.
Like, the massage is exactly the same way. Mine's a Friday, so I'm like, right, every Friday my fucking massage, and that's it.
Yeah.
So,
I don't want to train on a massage day. Neither does Barmy. Yeah.
No,
I don't know why. You always feel tired.
Should you? I don't think you should.
No, but we were having to because there was no other choice. So we'd get like, I get my pecs massage, then we'll train back. And it's just, you always feel tired after a deep
And you
session.
always do some mad volume as well in your sessions as well, don't you? Like that would put me on my ass if I do 3 on 1 off, for sure.
It's really not a good idea to train if you've had massage earlier in the day. It would be all right to train if you've trained in the morning and then you go and get massage later on. But on the odd time, I mean, my degree's in sports therapy, isn't it? So I know it's not a great idea. But like what Riz says, you're fucked after a good deep tissue massage. I don't care who you are.
My face gets all like bunged up. You know, it like releases the toxins, man. I can't breathe my fucking nose. My sinuses will flare up.
Yeah.
But like, the thing is, it's definitely working. You know, I mean, the best I've ever looked at this far out. Yeah, ever. Period. Helicine as well, and it clearly works. And I did this I did the push pull legs thing back in like 2019. That was my best look, but it was a lower volume push pull legs. So it was okay. But now, because me and Matt, we train at like 4 different gyms, I'll leave my house at 5:30, I'll grab him at 6, get to the gym 6:30, come back, finish session 2.5 hours, do a bit of cardio, I'll drop him back off at 9 o'clock.
Yeah,
Man's got home at 9:30, bro. I'm fucking battered, yeah? And then I was like, you know what? I was like, Matt, fuck this, but he was like, yeah, bro, I agree. Let's just fuck it off. Do the split. We're 6 weeks out. It makes a lot more sense because this way, if I compete on a Saturday, that's my leg day anyway, right? So it leaves me 7 days before my show, last leg day. On top of that, if we have high days, it'll fall on a Friday, which is a back day. So I can load up on the back day and have the carbs are going to be effective on the leg day. Do you know what I mean, boy?
Yeah.
So,
Well, and the other thing as well is if you don't have set days, when you're trying to run, just when you and man are running mock loads or messing about, you don't have those set days to know when to put the load in, when not, what's going to skew. It makes it very... But like you say, it's worked up till now, so that's sound. But now it's just part of being sensible and like, listen, I'm fucking battered. Now it's time to set the days. And this is just where you adjust things based on how your body responses, isn't it?
Thing is, Matt's struggling a little bit, isn't he? Like, with like meaning in a way that he gets ill, or it was something he was saying on his posts. Like, so, bro, Probably quite a
And
lot of them too.
Where you got to remember the guy's like 270 pounds big, yeah. Dex seen him, he's a big guy, yeah. You've all
We've
seen
all
it.
seen them.
And when you're moving around doing a high volume at that weight, it's tiring, yeah. I'm a smaller guy. I recover quick. Yeah, Matt, get on. I'm like, yeah, but he's just about recovering.
Yeah.
And they were smashing the sessions. I'm like, yeah, five more. Then you're both fucking each other up. The guy was getting ill like every 3 weeks. And I wasn't getting ill because obviously I've lost a lot of weight, so I'm okay. But unlike Matt, I can sleep in a bit longer. If I want to go sleep at 3, I'll go sleep. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I'll do my work, do my check-ins, do my shit, and I'll have a little nap for an hour. But he can't do that. So it's difficult, isn't it? And he's got a big fucking show, do you know what I mean? So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Are we doing any topics today, or are we just firing questions?
Well, is there anything we want to talk about? Is there anything that's happened or anything that's worth talking about outside of questions?
I don't think so. There's been no major.
I'll
tell
tell you what we'll
run
talk
down
about.
on Rick's prep. I want to know every drug he's taken, every calorie he's eaten, what he thinks he's going to look like, what shows he's doing, and how many gold medals he's getting.
How many times he's been to Greg's?
Yeah.
Do you know what? I can't even lie to you, boys. This is the first prep, yeah? Man has legit not craved anything. I don't know what's wrong with me, yeah? I was saying to Hilly, I goes, bro, I just don't want to eat. I don't care. Like I'm so far detached from food, yeah? Like often I just end up missing meals. I'm like, oh fuck, I've got to eat now. But it works out. I think because...
That's why you look so good, because you're not stressing out.
Yeah, he looks fresh.
Yeah.
The first thing when he sent me those pictures, I said, like, he looks fresh. Like, his skin looks good. He looks clean. His muscles are nice and full. Like, he doesn't look like he's deteriorating, you know?
Did you
And I
just
think
tell you
he
about
did-
that today?
Hey?
Did you just tell you about that today?
What
No,
do you
the
mean?
fucking little snake texted me the other week. He said something like, when are you stepping on stage? I said, I'm not your fucking idiot. And he just sends me a picture from his pants. The little bastard.
What I did was, I told Chudley about 10 weeks ago.
He told me before he fucking started prep, didn't he?
Yeah, because I was like, listen, I might need some
I
support.
kept it quiet. My client asked me like the other day, he's like, is Riz competing? I was like, no.
No, bro, because I posted a picture. I went to the gym the other day, yeah, and then my mate Paul was like, Riz, are you all right? I goes, yeah, why? He goes, you're looking a bit ill, mate. And I was like, yeah, sounds. I just walked off. He called to me and goes, Riz, is everything all right? Is D all right? And I was like, bro, I'm just prepping, mate. I'm just tired, bro. And he was like, oh, okay, makes sense. That's why you're staying covered up. And I was like, yeah.
So what's the first show, Riz? Nottingham? Planning, hopefully?
Well, we've got Nottingham penciled in. We've got a few PCA shows penciled in, a few FitX ones. Just all around like mid-September, end of October, around that time. I was saying...
upstairs.
Barman did say if we go China, do the PCA China amateur show, because I'm going to go there with him most likely. So I would have just done it. Do you know while I'm there?
Yeah, you'll be the same size as those motherfuckers. You're all built the same.
Yeah, Martin, because Martin's flying out as well, so it would have been pretty sick. But Martin was like, they might not let me do it because I'm not a Chinese resident. That's what they have to do in the PCA abroad.
Oh, okay.
It's just like a regional show, isn't it?
Oh, China is
So,
a fucking trek, though.
I know, but I'm probably going to go with Matt anyway, bro. So.
It's like a 14-hour flight.
I've been before, mate. I didn't like it, bro.
Forget that.
No, I'm not. I wouldn't go to do the amateur show because obviously Matt's got the pro show there.
Yeah.
So while we were there, I thought, might as just do it, innit? Fuck it.
Yeah.
I mean, like, there's no expectation, but the drugs have been decent. Obviously, we've escalated things up. Right now, the current cycle, as of now, is. Remember, guys, short disclaimer, I tell Martin to push it as well, yeah? I've got it in check-ins.
But that's fuck all, though, what you're taking, like, compared to...
Yeah, so my T4's at 150, my T3's at 45, no, T3's at 37 point, what the fuck, you just called it 45, yeah? CLEN's right now is at 120, Masteron is at 800 mgs, Tren is at 300, Test is at 300, Anavar's at 50 mgs daily, and Winstol's at 50 mgs daily. The Test was a little bit higher before, pulled it down a little bit, up the Tren. and the Masteron was a little bit higher, but Martin pulled it down when we put the Winnie in. But to be honest with you, when I draw out the Masteron, just pull out as much as I possibly can. I just grab it. So
Just get it in.
because what was happening was I was pulling out 200 mgs, yeah, then pulling out 75 mgs of Trenace. Then I was putting out a fucking 75 mgs of Test, yeah. And every time I'd split it into 2 barrels, I'd always be short. And I was like, what? I was like, fuck it, I just pour more. Because
you may as well fill the syringe if you're doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it comes to like 2 mil. I'm only doing 8 mil a week total shots, which is not bad. But I think I'm just doing slightly over now. So
You always lose a little bit at the top anyway, don't you?
Yeah, especially if you're backloading pins.
Yeah.
that's what I'm doing. Yeah, I'm backloading,
exactly.
so I'm losing. I'm always losing a little bit.
Yeah.
It's driving me mad. But obviously, I got a little bit of gyno that's never really been visible. Like Chudley was like, "What you on about?" So put in aromas in, and it seemed to get a little bit better, but it was like on and off.
Prolactin
So
from the trend, I expect.
I was just going to say prolactin from the train.
Yeah, because my Masteron's super high, yeah, and the Aromazine didn't do fuck all, and it was Pfizer Aromazine, it's proper stuff, yeah. Didn't really do much. So then I went to mine, kind of up it to a whole tab Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and that didn't do nothing either. So I then put in half a Arimidex, and normally Arimidex sorts it straight away with me, yeah, because obviously when you bring down E2, prolactin generally comes out anyway. And it still wouldn't fucking go. And I said, what the fuck's happening? Either the gears just pucker this year, yeah?
Yeah.
Or it's a combination of the growth in there as well. But I was thinking, but it's not been like this for the last, until I put the Tren in. So I put in 0.5 kb yesterday. I woke up today and it's basically gone. It's like 10% sensitive. Like before, if I pushed it, it fucking hurt.
Yeah.
But I can't see it, but because I can feel it, I'm making out in my mind that I did this before. Hilly, like 2 years ago, I goes, bruv, I've got a guy in there. He goes, you ate your dickhead. He goes, every shot I can't see nothing. He goes, you're just overlooking. And I was like, oh fuck, it is what it is, isn't it?
Bob Waterhouse was like that. We couldn't see anything, but he could feel it. But he could only feel it when he was doing cardio in the morning, when he was hot and sweaty. But I was like, have a feel. I saw him in person. We changed things about. But he was like, I can feel it, and then it was going up and down. So we just reduced his estrogen, and that worked. It went away, but it tended to go away just as he got leaner anyway. So it wasn't too much of an issue. But I do think, I agree, if you can feel it, there's always that worry of, is that it's starting to develop? Is it going to get worse? You're best off just squashing it there and then, because, you know, especially if you're doing classic classes or you're pushing at a high level, you will get marked down for that shit across the board. So it's better to be safe.
I also find when it's painful, it's like that's at the point it's like soft tissue. That's when you can manage it. It's when it's not painful and rock hard, you're in trouble. You know what I mean? That's when
you're
if
fucked.
it's sensitive, it's the time to tackle it. Yeah.
Because Martin looked at all of my pictures and he goes, Riz, I can't see no gyno, mate. There's only one shot where you're doing abs and thighs, like that. Goes, but it might just be the way your nipple sits.
Yeah.
And I goes, it generally does. And because I've actually grown a decent chest is still shit, but I've still grown some tissue on it, right? So I don't know if it's the shape of my pec as well that's making it look worse because I'm super flat at the moment. But because I'm super full in the gym, I went to bar and went, fucking look at me now. There's only guy tell me I'm going to get it cut out. Fuck the prep. He goes, bro, I can't see nothing.
Yeah.
Because I can't see nothing, mate. He goes, you're just overlooking. And I was like, oh, fuck it. Stop looking, man. Drive me nuts, bro. But I'm going to get it taken out next year anyway. Take it out, blast loads of fucking MPP, then I'll be all right.
I always say that. Just take it out just to... Because then you ain't got to worry about it.
Bro, do you watch that James Hollinshead video?
Yeah.
What, the size of that motherfucker that got cut out of him?
Awful that. It was fucking huge.
They all like that.
See it, though.
Mine, they were fucking massive because I saw them.
Yeah.
Like we said, you couldn't really see anything in James's pictures, but fucking hell.
He mentioned it on the forums years back. He goes, I've got a little bit. I'll get it taken out when I need to. Because for now, I'm all right.
Fuad had a really good point though, because he said that when you've got a really developed chest, it like hides it anyway because it pushes the nipple down. It's when you've got a smaller chest or an underdeveloped chest, that's when the nipple shoots off a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well, that's why you can see that little bit on my torn pec.
Yeah.
Because of the way the nipple sits.
Yeah.
That guy that was trolling Hilly, do you remember?
Yeah.
He got gyno.
Yeah,
Weird
when
bastard.
that guy
You got
posted
gyno,
though,
mate. I got
I'd
half
never-
a fucking peck, you pleb.
Yeah, I'd never even noticed anything. I was feeling, I was like, I don't think there's anything there, but then I'm looking and I'm like, well, it fucking looks like there is. I was in the mirror going, hey, what the fuck's going on here?
Do you know what it is? When you look, and you know, people need to know this. When you touch your nipple, yeah, it literally makes it swell, yeah. So just by touching it more and more and more, you actually make it fucking worse.
Yeah.
It's best just to leave it.
And not just that though as well, what I've seen with people is, if people have a high carb day or they eat shit on a Saturday night and they hold loads of water the next day, the nipples can be sensitive.
Always. People with, like, I have my clients with gyno, it's always when I can tell when they've had shitty food because it flares up big time.
Yeah, must be something to do with water retention and sodium and stuff in the gland. It must be.
But the one thing that I can say, lads, on this prep that I've done very different is I don't really think about the show. I'm not fixated on the show or I'm gonna win and all this. My mindset's ever so simple. Yeah, if man is tired, I'm gonna stay asleep. If it means me staying up a bit later every day to get meals in, that's fine. If I need to fucking nap, I'm gonna nap. I just don't give a fuck. If I need to go, if I ain't got chicken, all right, mate, I'll have some tuna. If I ain't got tuna, I'll have some fucking pasta. Man, just don't fucking care. I literally couldn't give a fuck.
But they're always going to be the best preps, aren't they? Because you're just dropping the stress out. You're having fun with it. Like, you're not putting, like, ridiculous obstacles in place just to try and be an autistic weirdo about it, you know?
Yeah.
Bro,
And the other thing is, you haven't got work to stress over now.
No.
So you can you can run your schedule, you can do as you want. Like you say, if you need to sleep, you can sleep. If you need lane, you can lane. So that having the ability to do that makes the biggest difference on the planet for people. It does.
Yeah, and I just want to make it clear to people as well, yeah. People are thinking, oh yeah, because he's at home, it's easier. Yeah, it probably is a little bit easier, but end of the day, I work very fucking hard to have a decent amount of clients to obviously work from home.
I tell you what, it is and it isn't, because when you're at work and you're like, you've got like a day shift, whatever, you're kind of fixed into that, so you've got a lot more other shit to worry about rather than being sat at home just thinking about your prep.
Yeah, but bro, when I'm at home, I don't know if I like my own space. So when Dee's not here and she's at work, I get a lot of shit done. Yeah. So in the morning, I wake up, I'll check in my client from America straight away every day, yeah? Because we're like 2 weeks out now. I'll check him in, talk to him, and I'll do an hour cardio, chill out, relax a little bit. I'll go have a shower, come back and do a few more check-ins. Then I'll have brekkie. Then I'll do check-ins till about 1 o'clock. And then I'll go do the post for the website, send out the alkalinity. It's about 3 o'clock. Have pre-workout meal at 3, have a nap for an hour, wake up at 4. Get ready and go gym. But
Stay busy is the key.
Yeah.
Yeah, because really, I'm doing, mate, this is me, yeah, and I'm a lazy bastard, yeah. I don't like doing steps. I'm hitting about 12,000 a day, not including cardio. Yeah. That's just straight steps. I'm not even trying. I would have done more today if it weren't raining, bastard.
Yeah, the weather's been fucking brutal.
Yeah, awful here as well. Hammering it down earlier.
Yeah, it's been like that all day, all week anyway. Fucking brutal.
But I think, yeah, my midsection this year looks very good. But my legs from the back are holding a lot more than before.
I thought your legs from the front looked like even more impressive. Like, they look a lot harder and fuller from the sweep and the teardrop. You know, you've got quite like a gnarly right angle, haven't you, off your sweep, the lower part of your sweep. I thought that looked really pronounced in your checking photos.
But you know what it is, bro?
And the midsection as well. Your midsections looks really good.
Yeah.
We've been doing abs, yeah. I think I've been training abs basically since last year, every session sometimes. And we just hit them hard, heavy. And the one that I do a lot, and I can see it really paying off now, is you get the dumbbell and you just do that to the side.
Yeah, I believe.
You just pull to one side. Yeah. I've done that every single session, doesn't matter when it fucking is. I'll do like about 100 reps of them. And now when I do that, I can see every single line in my side of my stomach.
To caveat that, though, only do that if you have a 12-year-old's waist like Riz. Like, if you are someone who have quite a thick waist, do not do that because it will just blow your obliques out even wider.
Yeah. Well, that's a sort of point that way too many people, I think, see someone with a tiny waist that trains their weight, the abs heavy, and they copy it, like what Dex says there. Your obliques, your ab wall, all of that is muscle and it will grow. And if you haven't got a tiny waist that suits it, you should be doing no fucking heavy ab work at all, in my opinion. None at fucking all.
Especially on them obliques.
Jay Cutler on his podcast said it was his biggest regret because he would hammer his obliques. You know, the side crunches? And he said over time, obviously, because he was eating so much food, training twice a day, doing so much gear, his midsection just blew out. It's got bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah, and it does. Yeah, go on, Liz.
People were like messaging yesterday, oh, what shoe you got? What shoe you got? Listen to me. It's not really your business, bro. I just posted a picture. Like, just leave me alone in it. Like,
I thought it was good, man. You got like a real good response from the industry. I thought like people were quite excited to see it.
Bro, listen, when Ryan messaged me,
he looked really good as well. I was just saying that to him, like, if I look like that, I'd be posting pictures all the time.
Yeah.
Do you know what it was? I've been sending Hilly pictures for a while now, and Hilly was like, post them, and I was like, nah.
That's what I've told you, like the whole time.
I was like, nah. And Dee was like, nah. And then I was like, you know what? I goes, fuck this, man. Man, I worked really hard, yeah? Post a picture, and I just don't like it when people start hyping. I don't need hype. I don't do this because of hype. I love the gym, and that's the reason why I do it. I don't do it to compete. I just want to be peeled.
Riz gets in his own head as well. So like Riz will post a picture, and it always has done. He creates his own mental stress. Whereas, like he says at the moment, he's got no stress. So I can understand why he was apprehensive of doing so, because he's in such a good spot. But on the flip side, people are interested in all of our progress. Your clients want to see what you're doing. Other people want to see. It is important for business, and it's good to get. It doesn't matter who you are or how your head goes. It is nice to have other people in the industry that are better bodybuilders or as you would class as more advanced. Yep. It is nice to get positive comments back. Without a shadow of a doubt.
The pictures that I posted were about 3 weeks old anyway, so it was better than what they look like. But Matt Tofton messaged me some nice words, and I always appreciate him. So I did Ryan Rhino, which I was very happy about. Everyone's got the same opinion. They're like, bro, you should just definitely you need to do the weight classics. You don't need to do the PCA one where you go against bigger guys, because it's unfair on you. So
you're still fighting there, so obviously you're still trying to be shorter guys, you know?
There's no weight limit, bro. Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, did you see that black kid that just won that last fucking show? He was like Kai Green's love child with fucking Ronnie. How he was in short classic, I do not know. But like, he was born to be 2-1-2, but he's in PCA, and then he won and beat some seriously classic kids.
Look, the way I look at it is, I just want to be sliced, yeah? And for me, that will be enough. Just to look nasty, and I'm happy. If that means running 100 megs away, not telling Martin, that's all right, I'll do it. I don't care.
It's strange with PCA, because before, they used to blow off anybody that was bigger, and they would only reward the smaller, slighter guys. Whereas now they seem to be rewarding bigger guys that you would say were way too big for classic. It's
because even my feedback on my first show was to go into the Mr. classes. Like, I wasn't massive by any point at that point.
No.
I mean, they were just like, your back and legs are really dominant, go into the Mr. classes, you know? So it's weird.
I've had clients get beat by guys that did not look classic at all, had no classic shape. They were just smaller bodybuilders.
Yeah.
And then now you look at the pictures and there's these fucking huge kids winning. I'm like, there just seems to have been a shift that I don't get.
I would like to do like a normal bodybuilding class, just one this year, just so I can hit like more bodybuilding shots and pose like that. Just I'm not saying I'm going to win or anything, or I'm going to play. I just want to do one.
I would do PCA or FitX. Short bodybuilding person.
Would I fall in? I wouldn't fall into short.
It's funny that he said that, because that's what I was thinking. I was thinking of coming away from classic and going into like the shorter bodybuilding class, because I think you stack up really well there.
But I don't think I would be in the short deck, because it's fucking annoying as fuck, yeah.
Just ask, message PCA and ask. Look, I weigh this. I'm this tall. What class am I going to fit into?
Yeah, there's also, Riz, like, the precedent has been set by people dancing around like fucking fairies now in classic. And I'm sorry, like this, I don't want to slate anyone, I won't mention any names. But like, some of this posing has gone so far away from what bodybuilding is. Like, they're hitting shots they don't even look good in, so they can like pirouette around like ballerinas. And I think the precedent's been set. And like, Riz, I know you ain't going to do that. I know you can pose, but you ain't going to be doing fucking 360 spins and mad knee poses and all that sort of shit.
I've been trying to pose to classic songs. These like, just don't.
I think it's just playing. It's playing to your strengths, but then it's playing to what the federation seem to reward. So for me, for both you, Deck and Riz, you both will be well suited to Two Bros Classic.
Yep.
Right, there's no doubt about that. But then
when
you
look at going to fit into classic, like you ain't going to make.
I won't now. Yeah, but I think.
Yeah, what about before?
Yeah, before I would. Yeah. But I don't want to sound like a sour cunt, but I was beat by kids that weren't better than me in that class. I was a lot leaner than them, and I refused to pay for the photos to get feedback because it was in a fucking field and all that sort of nonsense. But like that was like the final no for me, because I could kind of understand it. They were doing the stupid pirouettes, and I'm not doing that nonsense. It's not what I want to do. Give me an R&B banger and I'll post it. You know what I mean? But I've always found with two bros, they kind of like men's physique with legs. Does that make sense? Like that's what they kind of look like to me. It's kind of like a very slender physique, not too muscular. Because I kid you not, the other kiddies in my class, it looked like they'd never trained back before in their life. Like, I'm not joking. They didn't have back muscles. And they beat me in it. And it's just something that I don't really understand. But I really like the look of this. Is it BPU?
BPA.
They're like, the shows look fucking awesome. They've got weight caps. They've got weight caps in the short, medium, and tall bodybuilding, as well as classic. They've also got classic bodybuilding. So they've got classic physique and classic bodybuilding.
Right, interesting.
Yeah, sounds good.
And that's Saifan's new federation.
Yeah, yes. he's a good guy. He knows his bodybuilding. He knows it to the T.
Yeah. But for me, you may as well go and do PCA or FitX, short bodybuilding. Use that to get your bodybuilding kick, and then go to 2 bros for classic.
Yeah, and just pose a little bit different as well. That's what I've got to do. Really.
Yeah.
It's just I've not posted any back shots on purpose, but the
does it look gnarly?
The backs. Listen, I've never thought I'm a good body, but my back shots are all right. Yeah, the back shots are decent.
Both always been good. Yeah.
The back door biceps, the best it's ever looked in my opinion. Whether that's going to translate on stage, I don't know.
You will look the best you've ever looked. You have to for a start, because for one, you've spent a lot of time building muscle, and for two, you're in the best environment possible. You're not at work anymore, which is a big bonus.
Yeah,
you're training with Matt all of the time. You're surrounded by only people that are into bodybuilding. And you've also made the decision that you are putting bodybuilding first above a lot of other things. You have to prioritize it, because now it's your job. All of those factors in itself, plus simply time in the gym, time in the game, have to equal a better physique. And what we see in those pictures is, in my opinion, a much better physique.
I was saying
I don't think you give enough credit, Riz, to how good your off season was. Like, when I seen your ultra fitness, man, you were fucking big. Like, that was the biggest I seen you by a long shot.
Bro, do you know what it is? I don't know what it is. When it's your own physique, all you see is the faults. Yeah.
Oh, that's
we all know that. Yeah. All I see is gaps and gaps. I look at my checking pictures. I literally make the amount of time I've sent them to Martin, and I've just closed them, and I sort of get pissed off.
Of all people, even everyone in this room here, I think you have the least gaps in your physique. Like, even when I do dudes that are winning shows, even in the past weekend, like, you don't have holes. Like, you have hamstrings, you have a back, you have chest, you have arms, you have legs.
Bro, do you know what it is? The hamstring's still weak, yeah? The hamstring looks good from the side shot because my quad aligns. It looks better than what it is, yeah? The hamstring from the rear is still shallow, yeah? The arms are still shit. It just... Do you know what I mean, bro? It's
you're not doing a pro show. You're not doing a pro.
I know, bro.
You're doing a PCA show. You don't have to be perfect. As long as, like you said, you're in shape and you're better than you were before, then what more can you ask for?
No, of course. We obviously we just when you've been fucking brought up in the coaching game by Hilly Hennett, you don't be nice to yourself ever. You might once on show day flex your leg when you win and be like, oh yeah, I'm on. Other than that, you're like, fuck that. Put your hoodie on, back to work.
Yeah, it's always good to be a bit hole picky, so to speak. I think, because the people that you tend to see talk well about themselves all the time are the ones I think end up falling short all of the time. Personally.
Yeah, like, no offense to anybody in the game right now, but there's guys competing, and I don't know what they see in the mirror, because I think when they look in the mirror, some people actually see something better. When us lot look in the mirror, all we see is shit, and it makes us work harder. I don't know if these guys, they look in the mirror and their mind is the opposite. It makes them look sick.
But I'm glad because some of the deludable at the moment across Instagram, like, blows my fucking lid, man. Like, even to dudes that are winning shows, like, some of the comments they make in regards to, like, pro leagues and status and where they're going and stuff, is just like, bro, go and drown yourself in the fucking sink.
Yeah, it's fucking nuts. But I think some people, like what you say, is some people only like to look at themselves or take pictures in the best lighting post-workout when they've got a pump, and they end up creating their own problems because you can make your look at that fucking posing room we went to with your mate. Anybody like everybody looks better in that lighting. So if you're hitting shots all of the time and you're looking at these pictures and you're like, well, I look fucking great here, it gives yourself a full sense of how good you are.
Yeah.
Where I think for me, and then people are always like, why do I have to send these shit pictures flat out of bed in the morning? I'm like, listen, if we can make you look good at the shittest time of day, then we know you're going to look great at any other time of the day. No one really cares about how well you looked in the gym in the best lighting, pumped up, pulling a vest to one side to make things look bigger, or twisting about, or, it's no good for nothing but fucking Instagram, that.
Yeah.
Whereas
I get it all the time, though. I get comments like, oh, you look a lot bigger in real life. And I try and explain to people, anytime you see me on Instagram and you see me in real life, I'm 7 to 8 pounds heavier. Because every photo I put up, I am fasted. Or 99% of them, I'm fasted, and they're my check-in shots. Every time you see me, I'm fed, and I'm 7 to 8 pounds heavier. Like, that is you're talking almost a stone of body weight. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a huge...
People don't get that.
No, and not just that. That weight is glycogen and water in the muscle. It's being moved about. So it's just like being blown up 7 or 8 fucking pound.
Yeah.
Right, do we have questions then, Chuds? Do we have questions, boys? Did you put something in the group?
I've got something to tell you after the podcast, though, off air. But that's fucking funny. Someone just sent me that.
That sounds super exciting.
I know, but I can't say that on here because it's a bit... Maybe
Don't say it, I'm not editing, bro. I'm not got the energy.
Oh. Yeah, it's just about another big name coach, about something that's kicked off with one of the athletes. So, but we'll wait till the end.
Yeah.
We got a load of questions. I tell you what, though, should we talk about the show last weekend, the Two Bro, the one that Connor done?
My head's still scrambled. Like, I have built this conspiracy in my head now with Two Bros, and I don't give a fuck anymore, especially like with the UK affiliation and stuff. Like, I used to keep quiet, but I'm not going to. Every time there is an odd call with Two Bros in something's not normal, they never post a lineup on their social medias, ever. Like, it's weird as fuck. When something is suspect, they will never post a lineup, and I don't care who hears this. The classic was fucking odd. Connor got absolutely raped. I do not know how he did not beat that kiddie. And you will never see those whole lineups in comparisons posted on their social media. When there's no robbery or anything not suspect, you'll see the full lineup, the junior classes, the other classes, but every time there is a very odd decision, you never see that lineup posted in full, which is weird to me.
I feel deep for Connor, yeah, because the guy's been knocking on that door since the guy's been like fucking 15, yeah. The bastard's been lifting that long, and I feel sorry for him, mate, because he just doesn't get it. They just don't give it to him. I don't know what he's doing wrong.
But even like some people have made comments to me, and I won't mention names, but I don't want to stir any shit, but they will say things like, oh, if he just maybe wound his neck in a bit on social media or didn't post comments. Like, if somebody is saying that, there is a problem with the federation, not the athlete. Like, if they are taking their consideration of how they react post-show and what they do on social media, it's the federation that fuck, not the athlete.
I tell you what also, one thing that Connor doesn't do, he doesn't repost their shit, he doesn't bumlick 10x and all that bullshit. He doesn't take part in their little clicky fucking bullshit fucking circles. So by nature, they're just gonna try and do him over, and that's how I see it.
But like Dex says, that shouldn't be the case at all, should it? Not at all.
Oh, it shouldn't. But I think that's why it's happening.
It's getting to be a little bit. Sorry, Hilly, carry on.
The only other thing I can presume is, if it is all legit, the problem with seeing stage pics and that is you never get to see how people look as the transition.
Yeah.
And maybe he's doing something wrong in his transitions that's causing a problem. Because I've come third before when I clearly could have come second. And the issue was my posing was absolutely thrown off when I was moving from pose to pose. Yeah. And that's the only... And I've just heard a few people say this, particularly at higher levels. I can't remember who they were on about with the Olympia. They were on a podcast. And everybody was like, look at the pictures. And someone was... I think it was Guy was there, maybe Guy... guy thingy was there, but whoever it was like, I was sat in the crowd. As soon as they moved from hitting that pause, they looked terrible. They were slouched, the stomach popped out. And it makes a big difference if you've got someone next to you that's rock hard granite transitioning to a pause perfectly.
And holding it.
Yeah, and when it's super close, that shit matters. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
that
no, I
weren't
agree with that.
super close with him, was it? Like, that was not super close. I tell you what, I have seen Connor pose against Ryan in that FitX show last year when Ryan beat him, and he had stomach distension problems where his stomach was sticking out. What happened? He got penalised for it. That's fair enough. And he says that himself. He's like, yeah, Ryan was better than me on that day. He beat me. But that wasn't the case. I don't think that was the case last weekend.
Bro, with Connor, he's mentioned it before, right? I'm sure he's mentioned it before. The reason why his stomach sticks out like that is because he can't breathe properly or something.
But
I might be completely wrong.
His stomach's not like drastically smaller. Like his stomach is he's brought his midsection in. His legs have grown bigger. Like I can't see what for their fucking fault. Like I genuinely can't.
But I also think there's some misunderstanding with distension and having a really well developed midsection. Like when he turns to the side, you are right. He has a round belly. Like he has a round belly, but I don't think it's like abuse of anything that's distended his stomach or poor digestion. Like he does have really blocky abs, doesn't it? Like I think I said this to the group the other week. If you want to look like anyone walking on the beach,
I'm sorry.
that's right. If you want to look like anyone walking on the beach, it's Connor, isn't it? Like he's just got an absolute rig on him. I just think maybe having a round belly is being penalised. But I just thought those two people were, and no offence to the other lad, I don't even know who he is. I just thought they were miles apart. Like I didn't even think it was close from what I saw in videos, live, and the pictures. But like Hilly said, in real life, it could have been very, very close. You know.
Well, I think because Ryan was at the show and he went, I don't know what happened then, because his missus was competing that weekend, and I said to him, how did Connor look? And he goes, he was fucking massive. He was peeled. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, well, someone's there at the show.
You know?
And if he was off, Ryan would have said, "Listen, mate, he got beat." Ryan wouldn't lie either. Yeah.
So Ryan would be the first one to say that. But nah, he said he was on point. He said, I don't know what happened.
But just putting that to a side 1 second, Joe. Like if you see Johnny who won it in Spain, no offense to Johnny or nothing, I reckon Connor would have beat him. So I don't know if Connor needs to go abroad and do a show.
Did you see the comparison shots between Johnny and the other guy?
He blew them all away, in my opinion. He was like harder, grainier.
Who was Johnny?
So the lineup between Johnny and the rest of the guys.
No. At the overall.
The other guy who was quite pale, Deck.
I'll show you.
No.
I'll show you.
In Johnny's class with HEC rules, and this is no offense to Nath, great bodybuilder, I thought Johnny was miles better than him.
So that's Johnny and that's the other guy.
But I don't think Johnny beats him. I'm not being a dick. Johnny's a better bodybuilder than me and whatnot.
Right, look, I'll send you the pictures in the group later on, and you can see. And I tell you what, yes, Johnny's taking him from the back. I can give him that. But as far as anything else, I just don't see it. Like,
but I think that's where Connor needs to go and do these shows.
Look at this.
Yep.
Look at the stomach from him.
The other kid's killing him.
Right. The other kid's killing him purely on structure, right?
Yeah.
Do you know what, Riz? Yeah, you're right, because so Johnny was a super, so the other guy must have been a heavy.
Yeah.
So fuck knows how much he must have fucking weighed because he's taller than him.
Mate, because Johnny is a wicked bodybuilder, yeah? Not saying he's shit. I think Connor would have potentially won that show if he was out there. That's all I'm saying. Right?
I think Johnny's posing doesn't help him. I think at times he tries so hard to not accentuate his waist, he makes it look worse. So when he does his front relax, he really tilts his lats back and his chest is really wide and it's quite soft. And then when he hits his front double bicep, he pulls his lats almost like from right behind him. And I think it doesn't look as good as if he was to come around.
He tries to make because his waist is quite big anyway, right? And he's quite a blocky sort of guy. So when he hits it, he should just try to open up, yeah? When he tries to stay like a bit crunched in and it makes it look quite bad.
I really like his physique. I honestly, even in the lineups, I thought he deserved to win that overall and the pro card. He's got an odd physique. Like, his structure's not normal. You don't see it very often. Like, he's got high sweeps, a wider waist, not massive arms, but I think he flows pretty well when he poses.
When it comes
I
to
think he's really impressive in person. Like when he's off season and just stood there chatting to you, he looks really impressive.
if you got rid of the beauty of bodybuilding and the structure, as a pure bodybuilding monster, mass monster, he wins it. Yeah.
See,
From
and I
what I mean?
suppose it depends as well. When each one of us looks at a lineup, when the judge does, what are you focusing on, and where is your thought pattern is?
Yeah.
Because he's definitely got more muscle, and he's definitely harder. But for me, he has got a wider waist, and I don't like the look, for me personally. And I also don't think, from where he's at now, he can get much better without that situation getting worse. Whereas the other kid has a much better flow and structure on the day. He looks, for me, what I imagine bodybuilding to be, and I also see him have much more potential to continue to get better. But
I agree with that.
that doesn't mean he was better on the day, and I think this is where my own self can get confused, because if I was just looking at the pictures, I'd be like, there's no way, I'd go with him all day. But that's not me judging it. That's me going with what I like in bodybuilding. And I think that's where people get lost. It's not about who you think looks better or who's got the most potential. You're really just judging it as a competition on the day. So then who has got the most muscle, not who's going to go further later on, not who do you like. And I think that's where people forget how hard a judge's job
that
is.
is very true.
Yeah.
It's that you've got to be like, right, well, because, see, I think he could do with bigger legs, and because of his waist, it flows into shape. But I don't think, arguably, he'd be able to bring that up without the waist coming up. So potentially, now he's got his card, he may very well not utilise it, but that doesn't mean that he wasn't the best bodybuilder of the day, because in terms of pure bodybuilding, he was in better shape, he was bigger, he was holding more muscle, you know. So on the day he wins, but for me, I would always look and be like, well, I'd have gone with the kid all day.
Yeah.
But that's because I'm too much of my opinion and not judging it, who is, and I think that's
on that one that
Muscle,
5 minutes
condition.
who wins.
yeah.
From the back though, from the back, you got to give it to Johnny. Like look at this shot here. Like
He's nailed.
look at Johnny's feet on his fucking quads. Like,
There's a picture of him next to in the super heavies with Nathan from the back. Like, he makes them all look like amateurs. Like, he is.
And Nathan's got a good back.
I know.
Nathan's got a good back.
All round. He was peaked very well. So credit to Tom. He looked like he was spot on the money.
Saying that,
He did.
Lewis Widgery won the pro card.
Yeah.
He was fucking sliced, yeah. Him and Nathan Styles. It's all in the midsection, bro. Yeah. His midsection, you can see every single line.
He was very polished, very crisp.
I've never been a huge fan of his physique, but I think I've worked out now why. I think it's because he's got no wow parts, but he's spot on. Does that make sense? Like, there's no like, oh, that's nuts. But then when you come away and look at it, like, he's just actually structurally perfectly everywhere, you know?
If you look at it from a standpoint of, if you look at it purely from, what is he missing? He's not missing anything.
No.
Do you know what I mean? So if you look at it, he wins.
I'm like you, Dick. When I look at his pictures, I'm like, do you know, looking for the good parts. I'm like, where does he impress me here? But when you just actually look at the overall physique, it is very classic. It flows very well. It's very pretty. It's got all of the right lines. His conditioning, his peaking was bang on. But your eye instantly goes to like, is he more impressive with his V-tape, or is he more impressive in his sweep?
Yeah.
When nothing's really impressive, but as a snapshot of the physique, it is very impressive.
And going back to what you're saying about judging, he's the type of guy like Hadi who's just going to be hard to beat because he's going to tick every box. Muscularity, condition, posing, like, he's just going to nail all that box. So you're going to have to be outstanding to beat him, you know?
Yeah.
Unless you got someone like that, Joe Richardson, who's just...
fucking hell.
So someone like him, I think he takes him, you know?
Do you? I don't think he does, man. Look, he's going to hate me for saying this.
I
Like,
tell you what, with Joe, because he's quite short, isn't he? I actually didn't realise that. But until I saw his body weight, he's only, like 80 kilo. So he's actually quite short.
Joe, when it comes to classic shape, in my opinion, has got one of the nicest classic physiques in the UK. And I really mean that. He just flows, man. his front double, his front lat,
Uh-huh.
he's fucking sick.
He just needs a bit more quad in my
He's got no
opinion to balance things out.
His quads are not in comparison to his physique. Like, he's got a fantastic upper. Like I said, that was one of the shots where you don't see the comparison on Two Bros. It's not on their website. Like, it's not. But then I think someone tagged him in it, and I think he poses off center on an angle, and I don't think it does his legs. It's similar to his check-in photos. You know, his check-in photos are always off center. I don't think it does his legs any favors. And in a lineup, when you're talking about these pro guys, if you look at some of the guys who went pro in the Spain show very recently, like Lewis Widgery, they've got fucking wheels. Like, you're talking
Lewis got big legs,
dense legs, and I just don't look. I hope he does. He's a great kid, and I talk to him a fair bit on social media. But I think if he's got loads of room, and he's got like 10, 15 pounds or something to get to his cap. So I think he just needs to get those quads up, and then he's going to be laughing.
There just needs to be a lot of focus on those quads. No matter what result he gets this year, there very much needs to be a sort of a pinpointed accuracy of these need to come up more than anything else, because he is one of the most classic guys fucking on the planet, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And the condition is there. He's got the freaky structure, the upper body, the clavicle width, everything. If he had a banging pair of quads on him, it'd be one of the ultimate wow physiques.
Yeah.
With Joe as well, he's got that. He's a nice looking guy. He suits that class, in my opinion. He very easily become the face of the off-light physique. Yeah, very easy put him on a poster. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is an IFBB pro. It makes a lot of sense for him, and I think he's brilliant. I think he will turn pro at this next show.
If he doesn't, then he definitely will next year, without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah.
Like you said,
No, I don't really like his physique. Really nice.
Like what Chudley said, he's very hard to beat. It will just take someone like that Lewis, who ticks every box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Questions, boys? Chuds, you put a couple in the group, did you?
I've got loads. Yeah, got loads. Do you want to do the ones we've got on the group first?
Yeah, do you want to do them ones
We head
first?
over to the NGL, because the NGL I've probably got about 40, 50 questions.
Just do the NGL ones, but they're always random, innit? It keeps you off guard as well. Fuck it.
Well, this is a good one to do. This is a good one to do. This is a good one to do in the group. Thoughts on having foods like cereals, bagels, cereal bars, as well as oats, rice and potato. Seeing more pros having these foods, coaches using them.
Yeah, that's the question
boys.
the guy asked on Instagram, innit?
Yeah. Go on then, boys. I'll go last. I read the question down.
Well, it's just
go
a
there.
carb source, isn't it? It's not like there's no magic to it. If you digest it, fine. It's not really.
I think they really come into play in the off season, don't they? Like when you're pushing carbs really high, like you need to, like everyone knows what it's like in prep. The closer you get to the show, the faster you want to get that cream of rice cereal out, put some whole foods in, that sort of stuff. Just from a satiety standpoint, but I think in the off season, especially for me, like when my food's as high as it gets in the off season, it's a fucking no-brainer, mate. There's no way I'm eating 500-600 gram portions of cooked rice when I can have 300 grams with 2 bagels and a bit of honey. Like it just goes down a lot better, you know. And I think over time, as we just learn a lot more about the body, we fully understand that carbs are just carbs to a degree. And if you can digest them and utilize them, why the fuck wouldn't you use them? You know?
It's like
You don't think sometimes, like if you're eating rice, you digest it differently compared to a bagel or like cereal. If you have too much of it, it's no good. Like you want a balance. You want a little bit, but not that to make up the majority of all your carbs. Because we probably get clients that go, "Oh, I don't want to eat rice. Can I just have bagels and cereal and that? Because it's just easier." And yeah, it is easier, but I think you don't look the same.
I was going to say this. I get a lot fuller from rice than I do from like bagels and honey and things like that, for sure.
I think when you're in off season, a good way of doing it as well is, what I do is I don't like to just put in the bagel straight away. I'll do like rice and potato mixed. I add a bit of supplement in there, right? And then I'll start doing, right, I've reached my maximum limit of, let's say, 400 grams of potato.
Yep.
Then I'll add in a Nutri-Grain bar. Then I might add in some pineapple. Then I might add in some of this. And then I escalate from there. Then I'll add in other like more fun foods. But one thing that I do want to say is, do you know how you said there that in off season you want the foods that fill you the least, right? So you want the foods that bloat you the least.
Yep.
You want to do it the whole way through prep. Because in my opinion, when you change your food to these really high volume foods, your stomach don't fucking look right.
Yeah.
This year I have kept everything as it was in off season. the whole fucking way, mate. And my stomach, yes, fair enough, I'm very hungry all the time, but my stomach's super flat.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, when you do that over 16 weeks, it pays.
I
It pays
agree.
off in the end.
Yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
because your stomach's constantly just staying small. It's
Yeah.
only going to get tighter. So I think people need to realize that as well. Keep your food fucking same where you can.
I always get to the point in prep where, say if I'm leaving to the gym, I'm eating my cream of rice. If I'm at that point and I get to the 2-3 sets in, I'm already flattened out, I got no energy. At that point, that's where I'd want rice over the cream of rice, because it's just slower transit for me. I'm not going to rip through it, it's just fast. Bit of olive oil and rice instead of cream of rice and dark chocolate. That's the only time that would really come into play for me.
I find coconut oil, because I never used it prior. Never used coconut oil prior. Now I find that's really nice pre-workout.
It's really good.
Yeah.
You're definitely being coached by my man Hilly, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Mix it with the cream of rice. Tasty.
MCTs.
Hilly, you're on mute.
Right. Should we get on with the?
I got that MCT thing off John Meadows, and I thought it was bullshit at first, but I definitely noticed a benefit of having it in my pre-gym meal, energy-wise. But I'll tell you what's interesting. I've always only been between 5 and 10 grams, but AJ's got me using 15 to 20 grams now. And it does seem to be making a bit of a difference, I think. It's very comfortable on your digestion, and I think it definitely gives you, there's more energy coming there without a shadow of a doubt. And then in terms of the calorie-dense foods and whatnot, I agree with you boys in deck 100%. I think in the off-season, you don't want to be blowing your waist out with loads of food. So, and the other thing is, psychologically, you want to be enjoying as many of your foods as you can. So as long as you've got, take what we said before with cheat meals and stuff, as long as you've got base food in there at every meal, I feel, that is good quality solid food. If you're then spiking the meals with other stuff, as long as it doesn't affect your digestion, it's totally fine. Where you've got to be careful of is, if you start putting this stuff in and you know that you're bloated, you're gassy, because that means that you are not optimizing your digestion 100%. And then the other benefit is, once you've got a list of these foods that you can use them in your high days. You know, when you were in high days for sure, during prep. But as soon as clients move into prep, they're the first foods that go for me. Simply because food is coming down. So I call them fluff calories. You want to get rid of the fluff calories, the ones that aren't filling you up. You don't want to be removing foods that fill you, that satisfy you, that give you more sustained energy, and leaving the junkier stuff that spikes. It spikes insulin, so you're like Dexter's, you get a crash. It's not keeping you full for longer. The whole idea of where I put these junk or these calorie denser foods in an off season is that when we pull them out, you don't even notice they're gone.
Exactly.
So we can pull. I've just had a client there move from off season to prep. We must have pulled about 800 calories on some of his days, but he doesn't even tell they've gone because they were just sort of like fluff foods.
Honeys, jams, all that shit, isn't it, really?
Also, just a caveat for that in your off season, especially for anybody who's quite new to this and doing it on their own. Like what Riz mentioned about having like his base level or like say rice. If you're getting to a point where you're already overeating or you feel full all day and then you switch the rice out for bagels and things like that, it's too late. Like if you can start very early, like set in your head, like I can stomach or I'm happy eating 200-300 grams of rice in my portions. From there, add those easier, simple foods like earlier in the off season. They're not going to destroy your look. They're either getting, if you play it too late, which I think I did in my first off season, or we did, Hilly, is where you start trying to change foods out to keep your appetite going. It's already too late. You have to get there quite early and start using those simple carbs.
Yeah, but once your appetite's taken the hit, it's taken the fucking hit, and trying to put it back's very hard just by changing foods.
Yeah.
So if we had to give like a guide of what is like a top end of rice, what would you say that is? So for me, that would be 120 grams raw. That's kind of like what my cap is.
For most people, man, it's 300 grams cooked. For me personally, 3 to 350 is comfortable. Whereas what I've found for myself, going to 400, 500 after tried, thank you AJ, is just awful.
Yeah.
And it's just monotonous. And I just think there's no... And the other thing is, if you were sitting down to a huge portion of rice and you've got no want to eat it, your digestion is already fucked. Mm-hmm. Because if you don't want to eat that meal, you don't salivate for it, your digestive system's not kickstarting for it. If you're already dreading it as you get to it, So for me, with most clients, 3 to 350 is the max, depending who it is. And then usually anything after there will be, and my first go-to will be some sort of fruit or sultanas or flavoured rice cakes. Then if it needs to be built up or if the digestion's good, we might then use cereal bars, Rice Krispie bars. But I still try and keep it reasonably clean clean for most of the meals. So it'll be low-fat options, it'll be fruit, dried fruit, rice cakes, flavoured rice cakes, something along those lines. And then I like using muffins or cookies or stuff, usually in the pre-gym meal, because I am a fan of something that's got a bit more sodium and a bit more fat in it pre-training, as long as the digestion handles it well.
I think 300 grams of jasmine rice for me is always my tap out point, yeah? After that, I don't really like eating anymore. But if I know I can eat that meal with a chicken, then I'm like, right, I've got 2 fucking square bars. It gets smashed down quick. Do you know what I mean? That's the way I look at it.
Mine, I think the highest we've gone up to is 350 or 400. But the way Hilly does it with me is brilliant, because it's like the benchmark is 350, add 20 gram of carbs deck, and I'm a sandwich whore. I love sandwiches, so I'll just add, for every 20 grams is a slice of bread. So I'll put a slice of bread, I make sandwiches out of the chicken and rice, I'm fucking happy as a pig in shit, do you know what I mean? And then from there, as we go through the off season, every time there's an extra 20 grams or an extra carb increase, it's just an extra piece of bread for me, and I'll just make more sandwiches out of it.
Doesn't get any easier than that, does it? But doesn't.
No.
But the thing is, white bread digests absolutely fine for about 90% of people.
Yep.
It's about as low in fat as you'll find. It digests super quick. It's cheap. It's cheerful.
No fibre.
Yeah, that's it. No fibre. It makes a shit meal, a decent meal, just like that.
It's so funny because, like, all of my clients, I would say 90% of them, unless they have some sort of intolerance, meal one's going to be like an egg sandwich. Every bit of feedback when I send that plan, they fucking love an egg sandwich, especially people who don't really understand nutrition and stuff. They're like, oh, this is amazing. I love an egg sandwich. It's the best thing ever. You know, I mean, I'll chuck 100 grams of chicken in there as well. But it's always the positive feedback I get from clients who've just started.
Well, I've always give people eggs, egg whites, bacon medallions. It's like, I'm almost famous for it in my area for giving people this meal. But
you never gave me that.
Yeah, because you won't eat the bacon medallions, that's why. And everybody would be like, I get to eat like a McDonald's muffin, really. I'm like, yeah, if you want to make it that way. But for a lot of people, breakfast is like something that should be nice that you look forward to. Yeah. If you can have a bacon and egg sandwich, or you can have, whatever fruits you bought, it just starts your day right. It's something to look forward to, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
One thing that I did with Hilly one year was, we were pushing my food up. Hilly goes, right, what do you like? I goes, I like eggs. He goes, all right. You start putting whole eggs in my meals, yeah? One whole egg, yeah, one whole egg. You make fucking banging, mate, because you make the egg fried, you mix it with the rice, yeah?
Or just a fried egg on top of chicken and rice, mate, with that yolk running over it is the dream.
I'd eat the fried egg right at the end as a reward.
I like what Dick said about the bread. Like, I do that with wraps. So as there's these, they're like, I think they're the Weight Watchers wraps.
Yeah.
So they're actually less fat, so they've got no fat in them, basically.
Yeah.
So they're literally perfect. It just hides the rice inside it, doesn't it? So you're literally just like hiding the rice.
It's really easy. Wraps, like, I've got a bomb-proof digestive system. Like, I can eat fucking anything. But wraps are one of the only things my belly just doesn't like. I don't know what it is about them. I don't know if it's the texture or they're very dry or whatever it is. But they just don't seem to settle very well with me. It's odd.
Do you reckon
try the Weight Watchers because they're really good.
Yeah.
They're like they've got a lot less fat because like wraps normally have like quite a bit of fat in them.
Yeah, they do.
And you can get those like low fat ones. Or if you go to like one of those Turkish shops, they've got these like wraps, but I don't like using them because like you can't really tell. Yeah,
the giant bucket. Yeah, they're wicked.
You can't tell like how much like because it just says like per 100 grams. So I'm not gonna fucking weigh the wrap to get that. So.
I tell you what's really good to get carbs in. It's that Aldi do it and Tesco. It's called focaccia bread.
Yeah.
It's
focaccia bread.
That like Greek style bread. Yeah. I can digest that quite good actually, mate. They're like 55 grams each. Yeah. And then you get the large one, which is 75 grams. Well, if you're like Hilly, you pull out them extra large sourdough crumpets, yeah, 40 and L. Like about 70 gram carb.
I tell you what's really good, or you think it's really good and then it kind of backfires. Malt loaf. Like,
not for me, bro.
I fucking love it. I love it.
Anything with that visual texture to me sends my brain sideways. I feel like just with the way it looks, it's not going to digest very well.
Oh, bro, it's so nice.
And this is the thing, it doesn't, because you just think, oh, sweet. Like a loaf like that, 120 grams or 160 grams of carbs, whatever it is. you slam it down, and it just like an hour later, you just feel like that whole thing is still in your fucking stomach.
Bro, if you
I love Soreen loaf. Soreen loaf's awesome.
Yeah,
but it
sorry.
does, yeah, but you would think, wouldn't you, like you said, Church, because of what it's made of and its macros, it would be dead easy to digest, but it's not.
Nah.
I think because it's stodgy and
Yeah.
thick. Yeah.
Now, tell you what, it's good though. If you get the slices, right?
The
2 slices is 50 grams of carbs. I used to cut that with the scissors on top of my cream of rice and mix it in. Mate, that's so good.
Nice.
Mate,
nice.
when you get the Soreen, yeah, and you microwave it, yeah. Oh, fucking hell, mate, put a bit of jam on it. I used to slam that. He was like, listen, mate, we're
Hey,
in prep.
if Riz cheats on his diet after this, there's nothing
Yeah.
to do with us, right, Mike?
I know.
You know.
He was like, yo, mate, why'd you keep eating the Soreen for it? Fuck short. Listen, mate, it just tastes too good, bruv. I used to eat it, go into pain and go to bed. Did you get it in the banana flavour, the fruit flavour, the chocolate?
Yeah.
Chocolate's the best one.
Do you know what as well? The single packets, they don't feel as stodgy to eat.
No, I agree.
as the sliced
Yeah.
one.
They're more
The
like
lunch packets.
Yeah, I can get away with them because we get them for Arolinas or something, and they're exactly 20 grams of carbs per packet.
Yes.
So sometimes I'll add them in, and they don't seem like, as long as I only have the odd one, I don't seem to be having any problems. The problem was
You know
when
what
you
is another
put a
fucking...
full Serene loaf out, and you're like,
Yeah.
there's all my 120 carbs.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I used to do microwave and eat the bastard.
Mate,
Oh,
you
do
know
you know
what is
what?
another good
Freeze it.
snack?
You tried freezing it.
No.
Oh, that's hot, mate.
Soreen.
Trust me, I used to do that
Chili.
too. Because it got to a point, and I was just like fucking eating them for like all the time, every day. And I was thinking like, how do I make it? So I tried freezing it. Tried putting it in the microwave. Tried freezing it. Freezing is quite good.
Wait,
Just
so
like
you
it, man.
eat it frozen or it's just cold?
Yeah, eat it frozen. But
What
it
the
never like
fuck, man?
it's not like proper frozen though. It doesn't
He's talking like really chilled, bruv. Not like
No. You put it in a freezer, yeah, and you leave it maybe for like half an hour. It starts to soften up, but it's still like frozen inside. It's banging. Trust me.
Man, that's not right. Do you know what is another sick cake, which is not okay for anybody's macros? Is a fucking Jamaican ginger cake.
Oh,
You know,
banging.
that big
yes.
slab. Oh man,
Banging.
that is a treat.
Yeah, the bad boy there. Bit of custard on top.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what else is really good when pushing food really high.
Honey for me, orange juice, sweets in general, just like jelly beans, things like that. If we're gonna have
Jam.
20 grams of carbs in,
Dates.
I tell you what,
Yeah,
I have these like fruit juices, but they're not like full on sugar juice. They're like they got like pineapple and like coconut or something. They're really good because they're like 100 grams of carbs in like 1.5 liters juice. You get your fluids in, and you get the juice pre-workout. So good.
I tell you what I did before for a full prep, actually, right, as an experiment. Liz, you might remember this.
I know what you're going to say, bro.
One of my clients, his mum owned a sweet shop, right? And I love Dolly Mixture sweets. So as a thank you, he brought me this 3 kilo bag of Dolly Mixture sweets at the bar for the shop, right? So I was like, what the fucking hell am I going to do with 3 kilos of Dolly Mixture? So I bagged them all up into 50 gram bags, and I was using them in my off-season post-workout. So instead of just having 50 grams of dextrose, because this is about a decade ago. This, do you know what I mean? It was a long time ago. But I was like, I wonder if I can keep the shit in during prep. And I kid you not, I got absolutely diced, and I had 30 to 50 grams of Haribo post-workout or pre-workout, right the way through till stage.
Bro, it was 2019, mate. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
That's what I do instead of my
Because
psychic. Because Hilly puts 2 lots of psychic dextrin. I have it pre-workout and then intra. My pre-workout, I put my jelly beans in my cream of rice, so they all like melt because it's the exact same thing. And like I said, I eat and I go to the gym. It's no different.
Yeah. One of the best, I think when Hilly was doing the Dolly Mixture thing, I brought him to Dolly Mixture too, right? And he was like, right, we'll trial this thing and that. This is why we don't work together no more, yeah? And, he was like, right, when you go to the gym, you can have 50 grams of carbs wherever you want. I goes, what about chewits? He goes, sound. So I worked out, 2 packs of them sour extreme chewits.
40 grams in it?
Or something like that. So I used to slam 2 packets, get a load of heartburn, go to the gym. And I'd be on the way back, drinking the protein shake, and I just eating them like that. Fucking banging.
Yeah. And it's right that when you're in off-season, if you slam from carbs post-workout, it doesn't fucking matter. Really.
Exactly.
As long as your digestion's all right, it doesn't really make. And I mean, now we use cyclic dextrin and better carb powders. But those better carb powders are only of benefit because of the osmobility of it during training. There doesn't really need to be an expensive carb powder if you're taking it post-workout. And actually, the way cyclic dextrin works is, one of its benefits is it doesn't spike your insulin like dextrose and maltodextrin does. So actually, cyclic dextrin is perfect pre-training and during training, but I would argue it's maybe not as beneficial post-workout when you're trying to spike insulin as dextrose is. And if you're going to eat fucking dextrose, you may as well eat fucking sweets. At least it tastes better than drinking the fucker.
With cyclic dextrin, obviously it's made so it passes one of your intestines really quickly, right?
Yeah.
And obviously the benefit of that is the faster it passes, the less blood flow has to go to your stomach, which means the better you can train, right? It means blood's somewhere else, in essence, in simple terms. So after workout, pretty much is basically pretty fucking useless, isn't it, really?
Well, it doesn't. One of its benefits for performance, for like endurance athletes and people that train for prolonged periods of time, is it doesn't spike your insulin like a dextrose does. So it's ideal to be drinking during training, during running, during longer workouts, because you don't have any risk of your insulin spiking and crashing your blood glucose. But when we are post-workout, we want an insulin spike because the insulin spike causes us to then drive nutrients harder into the muscle. So something like dextrose, maltodextrin, or sugar is actually potentially more beneficial post-gym than something more expensive is.
You see, I would argue, because obviously I know the science don't really mean much all the time, So when you look into like dextrin, cyclic dextrin, it's like that, isn't it? That's the shape of the molecule, right?
Yeah.
So the science is that as it passes through whatever fucking bloodstream or wherever, it picks up shit inside it and it transports it, So my argument then would be, to get the most benefit off it post-workout is to bang it with the dextrose and have it alongside. That way you're going to get that nutrition carrying.
Yeah. If you could overthink it and be a scientific nerd, you would.
Yeah, but how much that correlates, I don't know. I don't even use it. I use more dextrose myself.
I tell you what was interesting. I watched a podcast with Milos Sarchevon, who's obviously huge around his carbs, around training. And he said one of his gym members years ago made an error and didn't order any Vitago or whatever they were using that was the expensive powder. So they changed all of his drinks, because he used to make all of his pre, inter and post drinks in the gym, do you know, for his protocols, for his clients. So they'd been using dextrose for a month and no one knew. And he said, honestly, when they told me, I just was like, well, it didn't make a fucking blind bit of difference to anybody. But again, because of his protocols, he's wanting the biggest sort of benefit. He's not too bothered. But he said no one noticed anything with digestion enough. So I can't, if I touch any dextrose, I hypo like a motherfucker. And a lot of people are the same. I cannot touch dextrose or maltodextrin during training. And most people will find, especially when they're doing bigger workouts, unless you've got a huge amount of dextrose, if you hit 30 to 50 grams on the way to the gym and then you don't have anything else, your blood glucose will drop on its arch during training. So I am not a fan of it at all. And something like cyclic dextrin is much better on the way to the gym and during the gym, personally. But post-workout, doesn't really matter what you put in you.
The one that I really liked, Hilly did not want me to use it, I still used it, was a waxy maize,
Corn flour.
Make that oyster taste nice, proper stodgy, bruv, Oh, good shit, bro.
There's that other horrible one, isn't there? They use the bar all the time. It's like a paste. What is it? Really
Vitago.
That stuff is fucking rancid, because it's all we could get in Dubai. Trying to drink that intra-workout was rancid, man. It's horrible.
Vitago, carbolin. Wow, what's that? Potato starch, right? Carbolin.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I never got any issues with dextrose, because last year I got up to like 150 grams of carbs. That was so much. Like, I ended up just feeling so fucking sickly, but that's what really had me on. And I just thought, fuck that, buying a like stupidly expensive carb. So I'm just gonna buy dextrose to see if I'm fine with it, and it was fine. So I just used that.
And that's what I mean. If you get 150 grams, you've got enough to have it before, during, and after. So you've got enough to keep your blood glucose elevated right the way through. Yeah. Whereas someone that's only maybe got 30 or 50 grams, you're going to eventually notice the insulin drop there. And I've had a few workouts absolutely ruined where my blood glucose is dipped from the dextrose. Fucking hard.
My favourite one now that I'm using the most, and even off prep now, is maltodextrin. It just sits the best. I get no heartburn, no nothing. I get a few clients that don't react very well to clostridextrin. Do you know that? They get bad
people
stomach
don't.
problems. I don't know why, but yeah, fuck it.
I get on
Maltodextrin's
really well with
cheaper.
the copy Lucozades from Aldi. That's all
Yeah,
my
you said
go-to.
that.
Yeah, I love them, man. Obviously, you get the electrolyte balance in there, potassium, sodium, and all that sort of stuff, and the exact same amount of carbs, and they taste
How
awesome.
many
So,
carbs is in a bottle? 30.
28 grams per
All right.
bottle, and they're like £1.50 for a box of 4.
Oh, that's really good.
Which is nothing, is it?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, just a little to throw something out there, yeah, guys. Obviously, you're using CLEN on the prep, yeah. I'll be using the other ones, the CLEN primes, yeah, and every other fucking lab, yeah. And I've been dropping weight every week. I'm basically dropping like 1.5 kilos every week, and it stopped a little bit. So I changed to half a serve CLEN, and man dropped 1.5 kilos in a day, yeah.
I've got some information about that. We'll talk about off air.
Yeah, it's just been literally, mate, coming down on that serve CLEN.
There is.
It confirms to me it's proper CLEN. I'm having to take 3 scoops of Hydromax a day.
Yeah.
Because I'm cramping like a motherfucker, yeah? I'm cramping in sleep, I'm cramping on wake, I'm cramping at the gym. But the Hydromax is saving me.
Just get some cheap taurine on
It
Amazon.
wasn't helping me taurine with the third ones. Wasn't
Yeah.
fucking. I was taking like 10.
Yeah.
I was taking like 10 gram a day, and it wasn't fucking stopping the cramps. They were awful.
Well,
I'm doing the Hydromax in the morning cardio, pre-gym and during gym. And that seems to be enough. That's a lot of taurine and a lot of fucking coconut mineral, whatever they call it in there.
I heard
What's
through
in
the
Hydromax
grapevines
apart
that,
from taurine?
it has coconut water, taurine, salt.
Dandelion?
Yeah, it's got no, it's not got a diuretic in it. That'd be the worst fucking thing you want.
No, it's got in it, man.
It's probably just an electrolyte blend, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's what it is. It's electrolyte blend, coconut water.
Well, why would
Yeah,
Why wouldn't taurine powder just be better than that? Like, what's the difference?
Oh, I just use taurine. That's all I'd ever use. It's just cheaper. But I will say though, the Strom stuff does taste fucking peak. It tastes amazing. The cherry dot flavour tastes amazing.
I do find though, when you start mixing like a carb powder that tastes, and then you got like EAAs that taste, and then you got like other stuff that tastes, it starts to like mix in too much, and it can start in your stomach. That's why I just prefer the plain.
Yeah.
I just bought it I think it's like 500 grams of Amazon taurine, like 5 grams pre-workout.
That's what the only taurine I'll get is whatever's cheapest off Amazon.
Yeah.
I'll just use that.
Bulk powders.
The Hydromax has got in 5,000 mg of taurine, 1,000 mg of cranberry extract, 2,000 mg of coconut water, 500 mg of absorbent vitamin C, vitamin C basically. And 200 mg dandelion there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's when I seen it. I thought, but it works.
So vitamin C and dandelion, that's basically 2 natural diuretics effectively in certain doses. Why would you want that as a fucking hydration formula?
It works, doesn't it?
But yeah, I've heard that a lot of the CLEN through multiple British labs at the moment is fucked. From my understanding, there was some of the raw ingredients had a problem with the binding agents making pills, so they just swapped out for albuterol, which I don't care what anyone fucking said, does not have the same effect. It's not as
dog shit.
You don't piss water like you do with CLEN. It's not the same, not a chance.
No, I'm seeing it with I must be seeing it with 90% of clients using CLEN. They're not getting the resting heart rate spike. They're not getting the water drop off. They're not getting anything like when you use proper CLEN. Nothing at all.
I was saying to Martin, I was like, Martin, mate, I am pedalling, mate, on this fucking bike, mate, like I'm on Tour de France, yeah. I go, my heart rate's not going past 100, mate. I'm starting to get pissed off.
But you also remember, you're getting fitter, you're getting lighter as well. That happens when you do a prep.
It's not the whole prep's been like this, bro, yeah. It's just not going up. But if I'm just sitting here right now, I'm on 100, yeah.
100.
When I jump on the cardio, yeah, it starts going fucking lower, bruv. And I was like,
face.
So I'm starting to pedal more and more harder, yeah. Just about hitting 110. And I was like, Martin, he goes, what are you doing, Stairmaster? I goes, I ain't doing no fucking Stairmaster, mate. No fucking, I'm not losing my legs, never again. And I popped the Serb CLEN, boom, 140 man just chilling on the right. I was like, yes.
I've got 4 micrograms, mate. That's like 120 you're popping in one pill. That's why.
Bro, I don't think it is. I think it's real CLEN.
I think it's CLEN and it's got other shit spiked in with it, like the
100
Malay
something
stuff.
like that. Yeah.
Because I took one tab of that shit, and Riz was like, "Don't take a whole one, take half." And I was like, "You're fine." Taking a whole one, mate. I was literally a whole day long. I was back in bed. I'll get up for a piss, and my heart will go 120. What the fuck?
Bro, I don't even shake. Look, no shakes.
I've been having to kick the shit out of the cross trainer, right, to get my heart rate to 130. I got them Cerberus CLEN and I took a full one. By the time I got in my car, I drove to the gym. I walked in the gym, climbed on the machine. I was already at 142 fucking beats per minute. I may as well have just laid there burning fucking calories. And then I got home. I felt absolute deathly. I lied in bed. My fucking neck cramped. My pec cramped. My glute cramped. I give someone one of my mates a try. And I was like, listen, don't take a fucking full one, right? He took a full one, took his ass straight to fucking A&E later in the day. He said, Ilya, I was having a heart attack, mate. I swear to God, checked himself in.
Mate, the closest I've ever been to going to the hospital due to bodybuilding was I was like 4 weeks out, and I managed to get hold of some Melee Tiger CLEN. I'll never forget, I phoned Hilly. I was paralysed. I was on the sofa after legs. I couldn't move anything without cramping. My fingers, my neck, my arms, nothing. And you're not talking like little cramps. I'm talking full visual cramps of the muscle, like rolling up. There's something's going to fucking tear me. It was awful.
Bro, that shit was sent to testing, but then that come back at like 500 micrograms, bro.
Yeah, they did a pack of 50 tablets, wasn't it? And it was like, one was 160, one was 20, one was 240, one was 40. Like, they were all different dosages.
You fucking split it in half thinking, yeah, I've got 20 micrograms. You've got a thousand on one side, zero on the other. I've got that pot
upstairs. I ain't fucking touching that again.
I phoned Hilly and he said, which CLEN is it? I said, Melee Tiger, and he said, it fucking serves you right, mate.
Mate, when I went to Dubai there, right, so when we flew to Dubai, I'd taken half a Cerberus CLEN, right, and then we got off the plane in the morning, so obviously my fluid balance had been off because I'd been on the plane for like 7 or 8 hours travelling. And then I trained legs the next morning or afternoon, and I took them with me. And then we went to Dubai Mall, right? We parked in the underground car park. I got out of the car, fucking collapsed because I trained legs in a different gym as well. So everything had been hit differently. I was fucking 30-something degrees. I'd been on a flight the day before, and then I had the CLEN. I kid you not, right? The baby was crying because I was limping about this fucking underground car park. I had to open the boot. And I had to sit in the boot of the car as a grown fucking man, trying to massage my legs because both of my quads had fully fucking rocked up.
He messaged me straight after.
It was honestly, it was one of the most work experiences in my life because I'm in an underground car park. It must have been 45 degrees. I'm sweating. The baby's crying, and I'm sat in the boot with the fucking car massaging my quads, mate. It was horrendous.
Mate, that's what I reckon that pain was in my fucking gooch the other day when I was mid-squat. I reckon I got cramping like my gooch area. It had to have been, mate. It felt like someone dragged a hot fucking laser through the middle of my ass crack to my penis, mate, when I was mid-squat. It was fucking horrible.
Nasty, isn't it, bro? We got any more questions?
Bro, we got loads, yeah. Should we start?
Yeah.
Let's rapid fire in like 10 minutes.
Here's a good one. How to judge a client's true weight if on gear and adding on weight whilst in a deficit. See, I'm assuming, as I read that question, I thought a little bit about it. I'm assuming he's talking about first cycle. Because why else would that matter?
I think
why do we use pictures for and checking?
That's what I was going to say. I think maybe someone's transitioned maybe out of a cruise phase and like growing on prep. I think just ultimately you have to just rely on visuals, don't you? Because scale weight becomes redundant at that point because you're going to get nitrogen retention, glycogen retention, like everything.
And the other thing is, it's experience. If I know if someone's going on, say, test 300 to 500 mgs with whatever else, you're going to see some weight gain. So even if you are in a deficit, if the scale jumps 3 or 5 pound randomly, because it depends on the client and the gear as well. Sometimes I'll see someone jump in weight at week 2 to 3. Some people don't jump in weight till weeks 4 to 5, and it tends to be where the hormones are peaking. As the testosterone comes up to hit its peak, estrogen keeps going up on the back of it. So I know I'm expecting a weight gain with a client between weeks 2 and 4. So when I see it, I don't stress because I know it's always coming.
Yep.
Simple, isn't it?
Yeah. That's where your experience comes in.
most overhyped brands and most underrated in bodybuilding. Sorry if he's talking about supplements or
Perform, dead.
I like Perform. Performs. I've never had issues with Perform. Tastes banging.
Yeah, of course you should.
That's I had that conversation with the guy who we were talking about before. Then I'm going to
What's with Scotland?
Hi, Ryan. How are you?
What the fuck is that? It's Ryan, isn't it?
He said to me in person,
You're running
he
a
said,
podcast,
obviously
right?
I'm
You're
watching
watching before we got on.
I don't know where it's coming through though.
Going to be a little bit silent.
We should tag this in. Ryan makes a surprise visit.
How was that?
Yeah.
You paid the same money.
Bro, our boys, I can't even find it.
I was
Is
like,
it
do
me?
you want to be a priority? He's like, yeah. I said, well, you deserve to be it. Like, if you're at a point, yeah, like if you've got.
Chudley, is it you? Oh, it's
No,
off.
it's
No,
definitely
no, no, no.
Riz.
No, it's Riz. It's Riz because he was watching the podcast before we got on.
Look at his face.
Riz.
He doesn't realise he's on mute. Let's not tell him.
No, he's not.
He's turned his own fucking mic off or something here. Look how dumb it. Look how stupid.
Look how
Fucking
handsome he
he
looks
looks
now that
lost.
he's not fat. Look at his little
Trying-
face.
He's trying to work out.
His cheeks have gone.
I know.
Sorted it, I've sorted it. Fucking hell, Ryan come in with the random. I was watching a podcast before the podcast, our podcast. So big
I
fan,
think
big
probably the
fan.
most overrated stuff, specifically on cost now for raw materials. It's got to be like my protein. Like the prices they're charging for kilos of protein is fucking obscene.
Bro.
Wow,
My protein,
anyway.
my protein is shit. Bulk powders is shit. Perform is a dead is a fucking shit. I don't like it either. Bro, bulk powders you use it isolate one day you've got farts, the next day you're fine.
Yeah.
They change it batch to batch, and they're fucking clusterdextrin's fake as well.
I think bulk powders is good for like creatine
Vitamin,
and fucking like glutamine and shit like that. Like, but protein, nah.
I can't comment. I haven't used anything from Jordan's line since it came out, so I don't fucking buy any of those other things.
One of the most underrated, and I suggest any of you go give it a try of any of their stuff, would be Alpha Neon. So any of their pre-workouts, any of their pumps, any of their proteins, the dude who creates it is a fucking lunatic, but he's a genius. But some of his pre-workouts and pump products, they are without doubt the best you ever use. They're just really strong. Like you can't really use them as daily drivers, but they are awesome. I mean, his new pump product has 10 grams of powdered glycerol in, which nobody has because they can't create it into a powder form where it stays stable and doesn't clump up. But it has it. It's fucking awesome.
The guy at Alpha Neon is very fucking honest as well, yeah? He don't make that much money, but he makes a fucking perfect... Like JP, he's all about the product. And he'll tell you, look, mate, buy your food first and buy my supplements afterwards.
Yeah.
With a mega...
Do you know what I think is overrated? I tell you what I think is overrated. MV Pre.
Oh,
Anytime
mate.
I've tried it, I'm like, what's everyone fucking raving about this pre-workout? It's shit.
You can tell when someone's never done cocaine or pills before when they say MV3 is good. Because they act like it's rocket fuel. You do like 5 scoops of it and it's just like fucking nothing.
Another good brand is Conte. I like a lot of their stuff recently.
I tried it in the early days. When my supplement sponsor was hammering.
Oh mate, I hate that. I tell you what, I like Content Sport, but that shit fucking terrible. I feel like fucking shit, mate. Cold fucking sweat. I used to take it. Bro,
Boys,
in
did
prep.
any of you ever try?
I know what you're gonna say. Shreddable.
Shreddable by AD. I will never forget being sat in work thinking I was going to have a stroke. Mate, I was shaking, ice cold, dripping with sweat. It was fucking horrible.
Bro, I was using 3 caps a day, yeah? Man took 3 caps. I sit at work, mate, in cold sweats. On top of that, I'm on CLEN, T3, T4. Just sitting there thinking, what the fuck?
I remember when...
In prep, Riz, I used to take two caps, not 3 caps. 2 caps of that shit. I'll go do cardio, come back. Bro, I'll be shivering in bed for about 4 hours. That's what the fuck is going on?
I only take one of them.
I remember.
I like their products, but not that.
I remember when Joe Brindley bought out the 2.0 version, so I know Joe quite well. I've known him for a long time. We were in a gym somewhere down south, and he was like, "Hilly, come and try a few of these. You'll fucking love them." Well, I remember taking them, and I was like, "Here, Joe, these are mint." Whatever workout I was doing was awesome. But I think I was staying at Jordan's with Jordan and Cohen, right? And I remember being lying on the bed on the night, and I was fucking twitch. I felt like somebody gave me speed. I was twitching. I couldn't fucking sleep.
the natural ones seem to like fuck your CNS even more. It's like you've had a hard leg day. Like they just seem to destroy me and force me into like a massive amount of fatigue very quickly.
I don't know whether some of them ones back then they were using that D1 Mifa.
That's right.
What was
DMAA.
it called?
DMAA.
That was
DMAA.
mate. That shit was fucking strong. That you know, that was some naughty
It
gear.
got banned pretty quickly, didn't it?
Well, it was
Yeah.
because of the meth, wasn't it? Right.
Well, I thought it was a precursor
whatever
to
it was.
ephedrine. Isn't it like the same molecule makeup as ephedrine?
Well, it was
Similar,
some sort of
similar.
fucking class A drug, innit, bro?
Yeah. But it was. I remember someone sent me a sample of it, right, of this stuff, and I remember taking it. Going to training David Lloyd's, and I thought what he'd sent me was one sample, but it wasn't. It was fucking 3. So I just took everything that was in the packet, right. By the time my mates got to the gym, I'd gone home to get changed and go out, mate. I felt like I'd seen half a gram of gear.
Yeah.
I literally, I messaged the lad saying, listen, I'm going to meet the boys on the town, mate. Like, I ain't training here. I sat in the car with the tunes on, fucking popping away, and I was off. I went to the nightclub. I was fucking flying.
I tell you, a very, very good brand, right? And they used to be, in my opinion, the best, yeah. They've gone a little bit downhill. Reflex, yeah.
Yeah.
When it comes to quality products, they used to, you remember that blend they used to do? 33% ISO, 33% egg white, and what was it, 33% casein?
Yeah.
But then they changed that to 50, 30, 20.
That was their peptide fusion blend. I lived off that for years. Because it was, at the time that they were so ahead of the game, Reflex, back in the day, it was the only protein you could mix up into like a mousse. Like we says, it was 33 ISO, I think, 33 egg white, 33 casein. So it was something you could use all of the time. And the flavouring was bang on.
Ain't
I
it
lived off
funny
that shit.
how a company can fall away just by not being able to keep up with social media? Like, it's not like they degraded their products. They just don't have the social media clout or the influencers to pull it through, you know?
I still use them. I still use their microwave when it's on offer. It's fucking brilliant, right?
Yeah, you've got tubs at your house, haven't you? Yeah, the big black pot tubs.
Yeah, they're good. The only problem is when I have clients use it, I'm like, buy Reflex microwave, but they all look the fucking same, yeah? And they always buy the 100% native isolate or the 100% natural way. I'm like, bruv, I didn't tell you to buy that.
I think complete strength. The only product I rate is the cream of rice. They've actually got some nice flavour cream of rice.
Yeah.
All of their other products are fucking dog shit. Like their protein
But,
shit.
all they've done is basically get all the JP products and copy them.
Yeah, it's
Do you
just,
know what I mean?
it's just labelled products, isn't it? Like, they don't have any involvement in manufacturing or testing them. Like, it's just a fucking white label product. That's all they buy.
I've got I know a guy up north who's been buying Alcantine from me for his shop, and he's releasing a product. I can't obviously tell you exactly what it is. What he's dropping in this health product, lads, is about to blow every single UK brand out of the water when it comes to an all-in-one health supplement. It's fucking in the profile on it, Hilly. I went to mate, even making money. He goes, mate, barely.
I was about to say, this is where I get suspect, because I know
Yeah.
how much these raw ingredients cost. It's like, even like JPs, like people say they're expensive, but like, if you have any clue how much these raw materials cost or raw ingredients, they can't have massive profit margins on them at all.
Jordan's markup on the stuff like Vital Support and the Love Heart and the Heart Care is not.
No.
This is why everybody has or should have so much respect for Jordan, in the sense of he's happy to turn people away from his products. You see him say it on a daily basis. You don't need to buy that. You don't need to use this. But not only does he want the best quality, the profit margin on the real, your Vital Support, your Love Heart, the Prepare Pro, it's not so great at all. No, he's just putting out very, very, very good quality
And
products.
lots of volume.
And I've seen people move from other supplement stuff to Jordan's health supplements time and time again, and their blood work has got better over and over again. And it's always awkward for me to say stuff to clients, because obviously Jordan is one of my best mates, everybody knows, and I'm affiliated with Trained by JP, so I never want to be someone that's just pushing supplements. But it is there is no doubt in my mind that there is very little, if anything, that can keep up with the change I see in people's blood work when they move to that stuff, if they're not already using it.
And on that note, Hilly 10 for 10% discount.
Yeah, Hilly 10 for 10% discount, kids. Yeah.
Another good brand that doesn't get any good rep anymore is USN. When they do the testing every single few years, they always rank up really high. They never ever protein spike. They've
They
got some
taste like
decent
shit
products.
though.
Nah, mate, that IGF-1 used to taste fucking banging, bro.
The IGF-1 was always good flavours. They did a pistachio that was fucking ace.
Hyperbolic mass.
Yeah, but I don't think a lot of the other stuff tastes good there.
Nah.
Just that IGF-1 protein powder used to taste really good.
Tell you what's one that tastes really good, the mutant one.
Oh yeah, mutant, wicked. The mint choc chip. It's got fucking choc chips in it, for fuck's sake.
Oh.
That's what I use. I use that all year pretty much now. Mutant Isosurge. Best isolate on the market.
Yeah, you're a big fan of that, aren't you? As you always have been.
I've used the Mutant Iso for probably like 5 years because Dimetize was too expensive, and the Mutant stuff was about 35 quid back then. Fucking hell.
Dimetize, remember that back in the day? That was the OG, wasn't it?
The ISO 100, I think it was.
JP was a big fan of that.
Yeah,
when I seen him use it,
Yeah,
I bought it.
Yeah, have you seen the new flavours Jordan's brought out in his isolate?
Look wicked.
Mate, there's some not, and his. I can't use the performance way because it ruins my stomach. I can't use any ways really, but I think he's got a couple of new flavours coming out this week, next week, and the week after. He's going to have 26 or 27 different flavours in performance way, and then he intends to roll the majority of those out in everything else as well.
Oh, nice.
He's literally just going to have so many flavours of everything. But apparently that pistachio and the, I think is it a white choc one?
Yeah.
The two new isolate flavours are meant to be absolutely fucking nuts.
The one thing that's been a game changer for me, is I'll give shout out to Dan Bastic, yeah? He used to always talk about hydration products. I think that fucking bollocks. But honestly, I think they make such a big difference in the gym and training-wise, the hydration product, because you can drink as much water as you want, but if you're not getting the other things, then it's pretty pointless, isn't it?
I like the Conti one. The Conti one's really good. It tastes really good as well.
I use that to Hydroflow.
Yeah, Hydroflow. Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah.
It's a bit strong though. You've got to dilute it in quite a lot of water. But like you can't have it in like a glass or like anything. Like you've got to have it in like at least 1.5 liters.
What? Really? I was banging it in 300 mils, bro.
Yeah, Yeah, I mean, it just depends. Now. I just don't like too strong. Even squash, like if I'm going to drink squash, I like it quite dilute.
Yeah, I mean,
it's mine how we said we'd do quick fire in it.
yeah. Next question, go.
Right. Let's see. Thoughts on people celebrating coming first in a show when it was only them in their class.
No comment.
Fucking shitty behaviour that is. I think everybody, if you, and this goes to coaches as well, because the amount of coaches that do this, they'll post up clients that have won this, and there's only them in the class. I think as a competitor, there is nothing wrong with posting a picture. If you've won a show, you can't help who turns up.
Yeah.
It's no one's fault. But bigging it up without putting a message on saying, unfortunately, I've had a few clients where this happens to.
Fucking stupid.
Yeah, I know. He looks huge every time he fucking stretches up, doesn't he? I think there should be a caveat on your poster. Unfortunately, there was no one else there. Personally.
Yeah.
That's on par with taking someone else's trophy and taking a picture with it.
Oh, do you reckon that dude's still alive? I want to know what he's up to. I want to be friends with that.
Yeah, he's private, I think.
Probably got 1,000 clients now, balling it in.
Probably, yeah.
Watching the podcast and laughing at everyone in his bed.
Here's a good one. That's well, I guess. Do we get pain from Winstol? Joint pain from Winstol? See, you lot can comment because I
never get it. Like I'm never one. I understand what people mean by dry joints, but I think that's just me being very lean, where my joints feel brittle because I've got no fat around them. I've never noticed it from a drug. I've also never noticed any benefit from like MPP making joints better or anything like that. I've never seen it myself.
I do. As soon as I put Winstol in, I feel it in my joints or tendons. But I think when people say joints, they mean tendons. Mine instantly feel as if they're a bit creaky or tight straight away. And it's always been like that for me with Winstol. But I also get a very, very good diuretic effect from Winstol. Yeah. As soon as I put it in, I notice visual changes within 24 to 36 hours.
Yeah.
So maybe it's, I suppose there's a few factors. For one, how well are you responding to the drug? But also, how tight are you naturally anyway? See, for me, I get quite a lot of tendinitis issues. Always have done, particularly in my forearms and my bicep and tricep tendons. So those are the first ones I notice it in straight away, in the main one. So I suppose what you've got to think about is, I've already got a certain amount of stress, inflammation, or issues in those tendons. So the Winstol will be having an effect, but that's where I notice it more. If you've got quite healthy tendons, then you may not feel any issues at all, like Dex says.
I'm using 2,000 mgs of curcumin a day, and my joints are alright. I'm on the Winnie right now.
I think what Hilly said is probably the main point that kind of sums up the whole question. How you respond to the drug. So for myself, I've never thought much of Winstol. I've taken it, I'm like, no, like, I prefer Anima.
It's funny you say that. Like, I've never had like a, you know, like the hardening drugs. I've never seen that, but then I think when I get quite lean, I'm quite hard anyway. I'm quite grainy, so I don't really see it. The only thing that I saw was M-Tren. That shit sent me sideways, man. I was like leaking water. Like I would pin it pre-workout. From that moment on, for 70 minutes, 80 minutes, I would just leak fluid.
Bro, in my opinion, Winstol is the it is the god of contest prep steroids. Yeah, I think it smashes Anavar out the water when it comes to that dirty, dry, nasty, gnarly look. Yeah, whenever I use it, bro, my physique changes, bro, within like 5 days. I added it in last week, and honest, I've dropped like 2 kilos already, and I'm just getting drier and drier and drier as the days go.
Yeah,
you respond really well to it, like what Hilly was just saying.
Yeah, genetic response. Next question, Chuds, go. We can't see you, Chuds. Oh, I can't see you, Chudley. Is that me or him?
I can see him.
Don't worry, on the final video it'll be there.
Sound.
Thoughts on a mini cut including DMP to start off a push phase to clean up quick and start growing? Talking like 2-3 weeks hard.
Yeah.
I like the idea. DMP is, I do believe, and I've seen the science on this, like the best drug at resensitizing your insulin sensitivity. So there is a lot of merit to, if you were, say, starting a prep, doing a short DMP run of 2 or 3 weeks at the start of the prep, to if you've come off the back of a very big off season, or if you were, say, you've done a mini cut, you've only got 5 or 6 weeks, and then the terminology I like to use is slingshot. It's an old school terminology. People would run 3 to 4 really hard mini cuts at the start of a big growth phase, and they pull food right back, and they do things to improve their insulin sensitivity, such as go keto on certain days or run DMP drugs, and you're basically creating almost a mini rebound effect. But DMP has huge merit in most of those situations. For one, it isn't putting any stress on your central nervous system like clenbuterol, like T3. It's not putting any stress on your heart. It will drastically reduce a chunk of body fat in a lot of people, and it will drastically improve insulin sensitivity. So, and if you're thinking about it right, you almost want to be taking a rest week the week before you move into a big growth phase or at the end of a mini cut. So the little impact on performance you're going to get is negated anyway, because you should in theory be resting. So there's an awful lot of merit to that.
That's what Sam Mead said, actually. He said next time, because obviously he's ran DMP a fair bit, he said that next time he did it, he would just take 2 weeks off the gym and run at a higher dose. So he didn't have to worry about the training performance drop off.
Last time we done it, we spoke about DMP on the podcast. I was chatting to Sam about that. We were literally just trading DMP stories. Funny as fuck.
Mate, that kid shouldn't be allowed near DMP. And he's a fucking lunatic, that bastard.
You shouldn't be allowed any drugs, bro.
No,
you shouldn't be allowed any PDs.
Right. Can Anavar be useful in a 3-week, for 3 weeks with CLEN holiday prep?
Of course.
100%.
Yeah. I suppose where you would use it there, well, I suppose its usefulness is, Anavar is a steroid. It is going to protect your muscle very well. So if you've only got 3 weeks to hard mini cut and you were going to strip that food right back, then you want to be adding in a fast acting anabolic support system. So something like Anavar is going to be in from the day you take it. It's not going to hold any water, so it's going to be a very good use.
And if you're about to go 2-stepping at a raid, one on that morning, you're laughing.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you prefer having a training partner or training solo? I train on my own most of the time.
I love training.
And I said
I
this
love
to you
having
guys
training
recently,
partner.
but I think I'm going to put applications out for a training partner. I feel like I'm at a point where I need one now. Like, even if it's someone who's not as strong as me, I just feel like I kind of need someone who's kind of just head on, willing to train so I can get a decent spot, some
Do
fate,
you know
some
what it is,
force
Deck?
reps.
Having someone weaker than you, it's often a benefit as well, yeah? Because, like, I chase Matt. And if Matt knows I've just matched him, then something's fucking wrong. Yeah? He's got to stay ahead. And if I'm jumping on and saying, listen, mate, what the fuck you doing, bro? I just did that as well. He's like, yo, for fuck's sake, I best go higher. So it just only elevates both of you more, right?
Having the right training partner is a huge benefit, in my opinion, to everybody. But for me, unless it's the right training partner, I would much prefer to train on my own. So, like at the moment, I'm training legs with one of our clients, Martin. We have great sessions. We agree a time. He's there when he's there on time. We push each other. We chat a bit. The great sessions. But for me, if you're training with someone and they're late, then they're messing about, or the thought. It's a scheduling thing for me. I hate getting to the gym and waiting for someone.
Yeah, I agree.
Someone turning up late, messing about. So I think having the right training partner is a huge benefit. But unless you've got someone that you really gel with that has the same motivations, the same scheduling, the same mindset, anything else can be of real detriment to you, actually, or at least for me.
Yeah.
A good training partner will save you, bro.
I just kind of like the feeling of just throwing in there, putting the music on, not talking to anyone, and then that's that hour and a half. I'm in there and I don't speak to anyone, just my music, and I get on. That's just how I've always been.
Yeah.
I do enjoy training by myself, and I would say that I train just as hard, or if not very close, on my own. I don't need a training partner at all.
No, neither do I. I don't need one.
No, but it is nice to have one as long as they are on your level.
I've never had a training partner until I trained with Ed for a bit, but before that, 7 years, I had no one.
No.
But obviously with Matt, it's just because we're both so in tune, both with the same coach, both on the same training plan, we both know what's happening. He knows I'm going to come and get him. It's just stress-free, it's easy, it works. That's what makes it good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you do one more, then I'm going to go. I need to dehydrate. It takes a lot of time, innit? Fuck you now.
I need to eat.
What are you doing? You one bladed?
Nah, but what I do is, I used to buy 2 tubs of that...
Beat.
No, it's called Nair for thick hair. That one's for like really thick hair. I used to use 2 tubs, yeah? And I used to always find I used to have a little bit left. So I went to deal and goes, right, we're going to buy 4 tubs, yeah? And I just smother the bastard on like plaster, yeah? And I keep rubbing it in. I jump in the shower, 5 minutes, gone.
Once it's off though, can't you just keep on top of it with a one blade? Like just...
No, bro, because, what I do is, yeah, I put it on so thick, Deck, yeah? People, they just do that. You need to, because my hair's thick and it's curly, I've got to get it all fucking inside it, yeah? I do it everywhere, my whole body's white. And I wait about 7 minutes, then Dee does it on my back, she gets rid of it manually, then I jump in the shower with a loofah and take it all off.
Does it stink? Yeah.
It stinks, but it don't burn my skin. I'm very, very lucky.
Why don't you just trim?
No, Chudley, it'll bruv, in that box down there, I've got 3 machines, yeah. To trim my body hair, bruv, I have to use 3 machines. That's a 2-hour job.
Bro, I'm the same way. But if you stay on top of it, because I'll leave it. And then,
lads,
I'll leave it for 2 weeks. No, because I'm exactly the same like you. I'm the hairiest fucking cunt you'll ever fucking meet.
But bro, Nair is so good because you just rub it on, you wait 10 minutes, jump in the shower, literally, and it just all comes off. It's so easy, bro. It's like, it's the best thing ever. Bro.
You trim, you get no, like, it doesn't irritate your skin because you're not taking the hair off completely.
I don't get any irritation from it.
Well, yeah.
I've been using the pink Nair for years. The pink feed for years. A foot of the big tube will do from my wrists, from my hands, all my front, down to my waist. I'll put that on 7-8 minutes, exfoliating gloves in the shower, and it just falls off. And I get no rash, no nothing. But I tell you what, I was saying this to Deck at my show. What is funny is, I've been doing that for about a decade, right? Every time I get any tan done, the tan girls always comment on how well tan takes to my skin. And I'm adamant it's because technically I'm exfoliating year-round, Anna. Yes, I do that shit year-round.
Because Hilly, if you use Nair or any hair removal cream, do you know on your hands, these bits here, and anything that's like a bit rough, when you put it on, I literally come out of the shower and what the fuck, my skin's gone really soft.
Yeah.
Because it takes off like a really fine layer of skin, like all your dead skin. It's fucking mega.